What's up, my super people? Welcome to the episode 71 Dragonball Super Review, The Death of Goku, the Guaranteed Assassination Mission. I have to say that Super is definitely staying on its game. The Yamcha episode last time was just one of my favourites ever. I mean, if that's filler, then this is the best filler we've ever had since, I think, the Drive-In episode. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, going through the episode. So it starts off with Goku keeling over in a deserted mountain range with Goten, Gohan and Piccolo around him, pronouncing him dead. And that's a cool start. It's not very Dragon Ball. It's more like a movie or like, a proper show. Really good mystery, the non-linear time. Yeah, that was awesome. Then we skip to Goku meditating. He's clearly concentrating and he's losing touch with reality around him. He's just, lost touch with everyday life. It says he can't sense him. So it really does imply that Goku knows that someone's coming after him. I think, he's been forewarned. He's not just discovering something for the first time. He's looking for someone. I love whenever someone comes to the door and we get a funny little Naruto run, with the arms dragging behind him. Then we cut to Vegeta training with Whis on Beerus' planet. And it is good to see that Vegeta's not getting left behind. As Goku's doing his thing, Vegeta's staying on top of his training. And hopefully we're going to see not too big a level between them two again. So Beerus arrives inquiring if Goku's training is going well, saying that he's the lead fighter in the upcoming Omniversal Tournament. Of course this pisses Vegeta off, and you'd be disappointed if it didn't. Beerus fears Zeno's wrath, and thanks to spoilers, we know he's right to do so, because if anyone loses in the tournament, their entire universe is destroyed. Vegeta suspects that Whis knows what Goku's up to training-wise, and could explain his absence, and I think he's right, but more on that in my predictions later on. Back to Goku, who's shopping with his eyes shut, like most men do. Gohan and Goten are playing detectives, following him and trying to explain his recent un-Goku-like behaviour. Gohan suggests that like any good detective, they need disguises. Even though Goku can sense their ki and already knows who the Great Saiyaman is, why not? There's this great moment where Gohan feebly says, "Ta-da!" Also, I really would have loved to have seen Goten as the Great Saiyalad, but alas, not this time. Nice little coming of age moment when Goten doesn't think the Great Saiyaman's cool anymore. So sad. Then there's a great sequence of visual comedy next as Goku walks across the frame in some really inappropriate locations. My favourite being through a movie screening. Eventually ends up in a lingerie shop and says, "I'm opening my eyes now." So that really implies that this has all been a challenge, or like a test that Goku's aware of, that someone's put him up to. But again, more on that in my predictions later. Bulma then hits him with her car, and goes to slap him, because he's so inconsiderate getting hit by her car. But it's a slap that Goku dodges, and this surprises Goten, Gohan and Bulma. Now, really? I wouldn't be shocked at that. If I was Goku, I'd be dodging her slaps all the time. She can hit. So to figure out what's wrong, Gohan asks Goku over for dinner. And you have to laugh at Piccolo doing the barbecue and telling Goku to shut up until he's finished. I mean, Piccolo has been very domesticated in Super so far, which makes me sad, but this was hilarious. Goku then reveals that he knows Hit's out to kill him, and that he's looking for him. We then cut to Hit, who's on some kind of moon base / cemetery, and just looking like a total badass. We see a Blade Runner-esque city, which is unlike anything we've seen before in Dragon Ball, and is confirmed to be a Universe 6 city, with some cool nods to Frost and Kappa via a news report. Everyone's wearing blue gas masks, possibly due to air pollution, and could this be Dragon Ball branching off into an environmentalist message? Hit infiltrates a huge skyscraper to assassinate the guy from last week's preview, and he just looks like a generic mob boss. Really could be anyone. He's not even given a name, so my prediction from last week about him being the one who hired Hit, the kind of Frieza-like galactic overlord of Universe 6, was miles out. Hit's time leap looks seriously upgraded here, lasting over 5 seconds when going past the guards. And then, as he reaches his main target, he goes full Assassin's Creed / Professor X mode and completely stops time for everyone except for his target and himself. Hit then demonstrates a new technique, well, new to us anyway, one that I'm calling the wireless 3-inch punch. And boom, target eliminated. Hit picks up his necklace as a souvenir for his gravestone and disappears without a trace. Then via Star Wars hologram, Hit receives Goku as his next target and smiles to himself. Now if this is happening in chronological order, Goku has been looking for Hit before Hit even got the message to put the hit on him. So he must have been warned about this or challenged by someone. But more on this later. Goku sends his hits close and flies off to a location where they won't be interrupted by anyone else, which I essentially did predict in my predictions video. Yay, finally one right. After seeing that Goku's disappeared, Goten, Gohan and Piccolo decide to follow. Goku ends up at the mountain range we saw him at the start of the episode, and cool, it's nighttime. Super's really doing the whole atmospheric thing with the nighttime setting a lot more than Z did, just like the Zamasu fight last time. Goku powers up to Super Saiyan Blue form to try and sense Hit, who pops up behind him. Hit offers Goku a little chance to escape, even though he knows that Goku was going to refuse it anyway. But it does emphasise Hit's little arc from the Universe 6 tournament, his newfound respect for Goku, and I like that a lot. Of course Goku refuses, and Hit explains that his assassination technique is just one punch from straight on. That's a risky tactic, telling your opponent what your only move's going to be. Goku lunges at Hit, and his attacks start like phasing through him. And I assume that Hit is manipulating time and moving at super fast speed, and becoming almost like a mirage, as opposed to his body actually becoming intangible. Hit strikes Goku with the same wireless 3-inch punch, puts a dent in that heart. And as I did predict last time, it looks like Goku intentionally shot a ki blast up into the air, Dragonball evolution style, and that thing is going to boomerang back and like rejig his heart. Yes, finally got one completely right. Goku dies, Hit leaves and says he's going to return when Goku's grave has been built, and then the Three Stooges appear, declare him dead, and we're back to the start of the episode. And that's a really creepy shot of Goku dead. Kind of looks like Attack on Titan. It's ugh. So overall it was a nice, interesting story, and I really do appreciate the shift towards mystery-based stories, as opposed to coming out with everything at the start or just revealing things as we go on. I really like the starting with the end of the episode at the beginning. Also, I'm very happy to see more of Universe 6, as well as Hit's day job. I'm going to quickly look at the animation, mainly because this is the first review I've done, and I just want to talk a little bit about the animation and what this episode did really well and what stood out and was quite interesting, and also some of the things that it didn't do particularly well. So while Dragon Ball Super has often been criticised for its animation being generally inferior compared to its predecessors, if you can get past the all-digital, generally too clean in my opinion style, this episode didn't do too much offensively bad, and even had some nice new touches in cinematography and effects. So I'm going to start with the noticeably bad. I mean, the shortcomings of working all digital and to a crazy time frame were completely evident here. In this shot there are weird thin lines around Goku, and what's happened here is he's been digitally cut out and pasted in. It hasn't been drawn for a long shot, and that just looks weird and annoying. Especially if you look at the background being, with thicker outlines than Goku himself. Digital zooms being used often show that an image isn't high res, it's zoomed in too much and kind of looks fuzzy or less quality compared to the rest of it, and that's kind of obvious whenever we see a close-up of Vegeta and it pulls out. When it pulls out it looks fine, but it's zoomed in that much it looks really, low resolution. And it's the same with another shot of Super Saiyan Blue Goku later too. Occasionally it goes off model. You see Goku's got a really big head and big neck, and per Vegeta, one stage he doesn't even have a neck. A few height inconsistencies. I mean, what size is Vegeta compared to Whis? At times he's nearly level with him, and at times the poor guy's barely up to his shoulder with his hair. I know sometimes when it's a long shot, a lot of details aren't drawn in, and that's fine. But at times it's really distracting. I mean, look how different Goku's gi symbol looks when it's drawn really simplified. There was some weird shooting star animation effect when Goku flies off, and that was kind of new, and it looked really lazy when Goku flew off. And then different flying trails whenever Goten, Gohan and Piccolo flew off, although theirs looked better, but again, inconsistent. There's a little bit of weird framing going on too, a little bit of inconsistency. You'll notice the static straight on shot as Goten runs over. There's a lot of empty space to the right hand side for no reason at all, and then it cuts to a POV shot and a nice canted angle, but why wasn't it all canted? And it doesn't look right. But then the episode did some really cool things. In particular, there were a lot of new cool effects added and really nice cinematography too. In particular, there were some really cool effects when it came to slow motion. Like whenever Goku dodges Bulma's slap, you've got a really nice echo effect going on. And the effects used for Hit's new time leap are great. They're really recognisable too, instantly recognisable. So whenever they can just flash the effect for just a split second, We don't even need to see Hit, because we know what's happened, and that really emphasises how effortless Hit finds all of this. Also, the dual transition was a really nice way of showing Hit's kind of Mirage style speed effect. Also, there's some really nice compositing going on in this episode. Whenever there was a nice orange sun going at Gohan's dinner party, there was a warm colour overlay tint over Goku, so he just, sit into the scene a little bit nicer. And you don't see this all the time in Super, and definitely not so much in the old Dragon Ball series. So that's one of the positives to digital production. Some really nice aerial shots as well. I loved whenever Hit was walking amongst the crowds, and he was walking between umbrellas. It just looked really nice. And it was kind of similar to later on Goku at the mountain range with a nice zoom out aerial shot, this time showing how much space there was and the absence of Hit. It was a really cool low angle shot as Hit walked off. It reminded me of Amazing Spider-Man issue 50, Spider-Man No More, if you know what one I'm talking about. And a really cool fisheye low angle perspective whenever Goku fires off his ki blast to the air after he's been killed by Hit. Just looked really nice, really striking imagery. So overall, pretty intriguing story. Some interesting effects. I'm giving this one the 5-star Dragon Ball out of 7, of course. So now we're going to get on to the predictions for next week's episode. And the little preview for next week's episode was a bit weird, as if the guy who wrote the script and the editor weren't on the same page. Bit similar to the infamous Vegeta preview. Lines like, "Are you really dead, Dad?" from Goten, as Goku is clearly alive from the first shot. Doesn't really make any sense. I love how Gohan says about Goku being dead, "This isn't the first time, but it's still a shock." I mean, it's just so Dragon Ball. Anyway, I reckon in the next episode, Goku's going to figure out Hit's technique eventually, and he's going to get the upper hand. I reckon Vegeta's going to pester Whis about where Kakarot is, and then Whis is going to reveal to him and a shocked Beerus that he sent Vados to hire Hit to assassinate Goku as a training exercise. It's going to train Goku's patience, and also sensing Hit's energy, and of course, a way to find round his killing technique. Beerus is going to be pleased that it's been successful, and he's going to be confident that Goku can get the upper hand in the tournament, because Hit's his main competitor. Then I think Xeno is going to summon the Gods of Destruction, all of them, to announce the tournament, and that's why we have that shot of Beerus confident at the end. So what do you guys think of my predictions? Am I barking up the complete wrong tree? Do you agree with my review? Did you like the episode? Feel free to check out some other videos in the channel, including my predictions for the entire Hit arc. And don't forget to check out some other Dragon Ball YouTubers too. Geekdom is great for breaking news, Geekdom 101. Also support Kanzen Shu, the #1 fan site. I'll let those guys break the news, I'm just going to react to it. So thanks very much for watching the video, or listening to, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers, have a super day.